There's a passage of scripture in the 15th chapter of the Gospel according to St. Luke. This, which the Gospel of St. in this 15th chapter, the parable of lost things, and referencing one of the most talked about men in Scripture, the parable of the prodigal son. It talks about the prodigal son when he became to be in want, and he was feigning to eat the husk of the animals that he was ceremoniously unclean to even be around, and now he's longing to eat the husk that they eat. He was longing for that which was beneath what was beneath him. And it said he came to himself and said, how many servants of my father have bread enough to spare, and here I perish with hunger. I want to focus on what he just said, when he came to himself. His coming to himself, there were important questions that he had to ask himself. And every now and then, each of us needs to have a little self-talk. That's the title of this particular morning meditation. He had already fallen into this depraved state. And for the bell to ring off, I believe that he had to ask himself several questions to make this crystal clear. It's not that his hunger, stomach growling, or him in want wasn't enough. It said when he came to himself. I believe that every now and then for us to come to ourselves, to have our aha moments, to make the bell go off in our head, we got to have a little self-talk. Every now and then you have to rein, I'll have to rein Steve in. You may have to rein Tony in. You may have to rein Deborah in. You may have to rein Kim or Joseph or Jim or James. All of us have to have a little self-talk with ourselves, positive reinforcement with ourselves. Talking about you have to have this chatter. David, when David was had literally in 1 Samuel chapter 30, David had literally wept until he had no more power to weep, and then the people were even speaking of stoning him to compound his trouble, even after he had compounded by suffering devastating losses before then. And it said, and David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. He made himself strong in the Lord his God. Your self-talk, you got to talk to yourself, and if no one else, I told someone, have said many times, if your mirror on the wall finds somebody that you're not the fairest of them all, you need to buy yourself another mirror. You need to build yourself up daily. From the early morning, you need to call yourself a champion. The scriptures declare, let the weak say that I am strong. You have to talk, you have to have positive self-talk with yourself. He said, how many, it caused a moment of inflection, introspection, inspection, all at the same time, and reflection, when he said, how many hired servants of my father have bread enough to spare, and here I perish with hunger. And every now and then we need to reach those critical junctures in our life where we are bold enough to have a little self-talk with ourselves. Like, hey, I'm losing ground here. Or, hey, I should be much farther here. But he said he came to himself. But I don't believe he came to himself before he had a little self-talk with himself. Folks, look, are you aiming now for that which was once beneath you? Have you become settled? Have you become lethargic? Have you become accepting mediocrity in every area of your life? It's important that you have self-talk with yourself. And the self-talk to yourself, you got to ask yourself critical questions. You got to boldly proclaim things to yourself. You got to boost yourself up. Look, folks, I want you to come to yourself, because there's so much more. We accept so many times a level of living that's beneath what God has already instilled in us. If we were fearfully and wonderfully made, if we were created in the image and after the likeness of God, if God created us above the beggarly elements of this world, why are we going like living to pay bills and die? Why are our dreams being escorted by the local funeral homes, hearse, all of our dreams, all of our goals, and we bury them in cemetery after cemetery or cremated, and we take our dreams that yet unfilled to the grave? Every now and then you need to have the important self-talk with yourself. We schedule appointment and time on our Rolodexes for everybody else, but it's important that you schedule discussions with yourself. It said when he came to himself, and then after he came to himself, he said, I will go unto my Father. He made a decision. Many times the decisions that we need to make, important decisions we need to make in life, will only come after we have a little self-talk with ourselves. Maybe you're staying and lingering in a bad place because you haven't talked with yourself. If you don't talk with yourself, you won't come to yourself. And if you don't come to yourself, you won't make the important decisions you need to make in life. A little unorthodox message, but hey, this is spot on. You got to talk to yourself if you're going to come to yourself. If you talk to yourself, you come to yourself, then you make a decision, then you can change your life. My morning meditation. This one's spot on. Hey, throw a rock at it everywhere you can. This one's spot on. God bless you.